On April 4th, 1971, the first episode of UBC's Night Owls with Jack Delroy aired. The show soon became one of the most successful variety late-night talk shows and competed for ratings with The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. The constant support from his wife Madeline, a stage actress, made them the most enduring couple in showbiz. Jack was also associated with The Grove, a men-only club in the Redwoods of California. The club portrayed itself as a harmless summer camp for the rich and the powerful, but its involvement in arcane ceremonies was speculated. Jack's world turned upside down in September 1976, when Madeline was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer despite being a non-smoker. In October, she made a special appearance on the show, making it the highest-rated episode in Night Owl's history. However, it was still 1 point short of beating Carson's ratings. 2 weeks later, Madeline passed away. A grieving Jack avoided the media and fled New York, leading to a temporary halt in production. Although Jack returned with the show 1 month later, the gap between Delroy and Carson widened, making it difficult for Night Owl to regain popularity. In his last attempt to bring his ratings up, Jack decided to do a special occult-based segment on Halloween night 1977. What happened on the show that night shocked the nation. If you weren't there live to witness it, no worries, because what you're about to see is a master tape of previously unreleased behind-the-scenes footage of what went down that night. It's a spooky Halloween special, and Night Owls with Jack Delroy has some special guests, including psychic Christou, a former magician turned skeptic Carmichael, parapsychological author June Ross Mitchell, and her patient Lily. Jack welcomes Christou to begin his segment. Christou, who claims to be sensitive to energies and frequencies, says he hears the name Peterson. A man from the audience shouts Peterman, and Christou points at the man, so Jack rushes to him with a mic. The man tells everyone his wife's maiden name was Peterman. Christou says he heard exactly that, claiming the wife is in the room with them and adds she has crossed over. The man is like, yeah, sure, she ran off with his neighbor 5 years ago. Everyone breaks into laughter. Christou tries to redeem himself by explaining that studio lights sometimes disrupt messages. This time, Christou walks up to 2 women in the front row and asks about Edward. One woman says Eddie was her little brother. Christou continues with confidence and states Eddie took his own life recently. He adds that Eddie's at peace now and he's sorry for the suffering he has caused. This earns him a round of applause, and Christou looks quite pleased with himself. Just as Jack announces the dates of Christou's tour, Christou yelps in pain and claims that very intense energy is present in the studio. He says he hears the name Minnie and sees an unmarried man with a wedding ring. He states that the spirit wants to talk to the person associated, and just then the studio lights flicker, and one of the lights blows out. Jack announces a quick break. In his next segment, Jack invites Carmichael the Conjurer. He starts off by displaying his magic trick before explaining his skepticism when it comes to supernatural things. He asserts unless he's presented with irrefutable proof, he'll stand by his views. He even offers to pay $100,000 to anyone whose claims can be verified. He debunks Christou's methods and claims they're nothing but a performer digging from a bag of tricks that goes back to biblical times. He mocks Christou and calls him a cheat just like him, the difference being he's honest about it. Enraged, Christou throws water on Carmichael's face before exiting the stage, but he's prevented from leaving. Meanwhile, Jack admits that he believes Christou's last reading was for him. Minnie was the private nickname for his late wife, Madeline, and the message was meant for him because he still wears his wedding ring. Carmichael challenges Christou to conjure Madeline's spirit and ups his offer to $500,000 if he can. Just then, Christou falls to his knees and projectile vomits black liquid at Carmichael. The camera cuts to commercial while Christou is rushed to the hospital. While workers clean the set, Carmichael bullies Jack to tell him if he gave Christou the information about his wife's nickname to boost the show's ratings. Annoyed, Jack ignores Carmichael. In the next segment, Jack talks about June's book, Conversations with the Devil, and shows the audience a clip produced by June. The video shows a house that looks ordinary but is anything but ordinary. It's the headquarters of the infamous First Church of Abraxas. The church's leader, Xander Dabo, can be seen leading an entire cult, resulting in the church's activities catching the FBI's attention. The FBI suspects the cult of kidnapping, firearm offenses, and breeding children for sacrifice. Dabo is shown to slice through his flesh and use the blood in rituals. He claims whoever witnesses these rituals binds them to serve the demon Abraxas. However, in August 1974, things took a drastic turn when the FBI sieged the house. After a 3-day standoff, Dabo ordered his followers to douse the house and themselves in gasoline. But remarkably, a 10-year-old girl named Lily was discovered and rescued. Perplexed by her behavior, the FBI consulted June, where she developed an instant connection with Lily. During their first session, she suspects Lily's possessed by a demon, leading Lily to scream in a demonic voice. Jack welcomes June and Lily, who presents herself confidently to the audience. She comes on a little too strong and stares directly at the camera. She doesn't shy away from expressing herself and tells Jack he's going to be famous soon. During break, June pulls Jack to talk in private and warns him that Lily's becoming unpredictable. She tells him the day before Lily started calling his name. Jack takes it as Lily's excitement to be on the show and dismisses her worries about conjuring the demon on live television. Later, the crew tells Jack that Christou died on the way to the hospital because of a hemorrhage. Nevertheless, the show must go on. They soon start airing again, and June explains her role as a parapsychologist and how she's trying to piece together the details of Lily's life and find the demon lurking within her. Jack asks Lily about the demon, and she states she likes to call him Mr. Wriggles because he wriggles his way in and out of her head. Jack asks her if she can call him for them. June objects, but then gives in when the audience starts demanding to see the demon. The demonstration begins, and June has Lily strapped in a chair. As June tries speaking with Mr. Wriggles, Lily gets possessed and talks in a demonic voice. Her appearance also physically transforms, giving her a more rugged look. She turns to Jack and reveals that this isn't the first time they've met. Their connection goes way back. She turns to June and warns her to be careful, cryptically mentioning his involvement in Madeline's death. She also reveals that Jack and June have been sleeping together, which makes June mad, and she slaps Lily on air. June quickly tries to redeem herself, but seeing Lily out of control, she pulls out her locket and tries exorcising the demon. But nothing works, and Lily's chair starts levitating, shocking everyone. However, this lasts a few seconds before Lily returns to consciousness, and June apologizes for slapping her. After the break, Carmichael questions Lily's sanity. He attributes the levitating and physical transformation to impeccable stagecraft. Jack calls Carmichael a cold-hearted person who's trying to weasel his way out of partying with $500,000. Carmichael takes up the challenge, and to prove his theory, he asks Gus, another show worker, to become his subject. Using a pocket watch, he hypnotizes him and apparently everyone because he has the camera zoomed into a clock. He then asks Gus about his fear of worms. Carmichael reminds him he's in a deep trance, which Gus denies, but when Carmichael makes worms come out of his body, everyone freaks out. Suddenly, a chunky worm tears through Gus's face. Carmichael uses a cue to break the hypnosis, and Gus returns to normal without any recollection of what happened. Baffled, Jack asks what happened, and Carmichael says he did exactly what June did. Wanting to see what actually happened, Jack asks the crew to play back the last bit of their recording, which shows that whatever they were seeing and feeling was being suggested by Carmichael when he had them all under hypnosis. June tries to clarify that she didn't hypnotize Lily or anybody else in the studio, but Carmichael accuses her of fooling people. Lily suggests they should review their footage, which Jack allows. When they replay the footage, it remains unaltered. Lily suddenly becomes possessed again. A bolt of lightning from the ceiling connects to her left hand, and the bolt from a nearby television monitor connects her right hand. Lily cries in pain, and her head splits open, being replaced by a bright light. Gus takes out his cross and tries commanding the demon to leave, but Lily twists Gus's head 180 degrees, killing him instantly. When June tries to do the same, Lily uses June's necklace to strangle and lift her in the air. The sharp necklace slices her throat, and she dies too. Panic spreads as people in the audience and the crew scatter. Carmichael suddenly has a change of heart, and he kneels before the demon, but when he sees June dead, he realizes he's in deep shit. Lily turns to him and burns him alive. Jack's transported into a nightmarish version of the show and made to relive it over and over. It's revealed that he has a connection to the demon possessing Lily as he encountered it during a ritual at the Grove. Jack's also responsible for Madeline's death in exchange for Night Owl's success. He sees a very sick Madeline who confronts him about his actions. She points at the ritualistic dagger and requests Jack to put her out of her misery, as the pain is unbearable. Jack complies and stabs her, but when he comes to his senses, he realizes he has stabbed Lily. In an empty studio with 4 dead people, Jack stands and repeats, "Dreamer here, awake," as police sirens are heard getting louder. That's a wrap on our recap of the horror flick Late Night with the Devil. Smash that subscribe button to stay on top of the latest horror movie recaps and share this with your friends too.